Thank you, Madam Speaker. In 4 years, I've heard many farewell speeches, yet it's always been difficult for me to imagine doing one myself, but here I am. Over the last few weeks, I've spent some time reflecting about not only my service here these last 4 years, but how I got here. I'll start by thanking my wife, Kristen. She's at home right now with our 3 children, Aaron, Kate, and Weston. When I was sworn in 2017, we had no children. Now we have a soon-to-be 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 7-month-old. So if anyone's wondering why I didn't run for a 3rd term, it's because Kristen couldn't afford to have any more children right now. All joking aside, Kristen has been very instrumental in my service here. She's helped me manage my first campaign and has helped me juggle all the challenges and pressures that come with this job. She's also done more than her fair share of work with the kids and around the house and in the house so I could serve and campaign and also help my colleagues. I could not imagine doing any of this without her love and support. She's definitely a trooper. She's even supported me running for Congress while moving and being pregnant with our 3rd child. So as you can tell, I could probably dedicate the entirety of the speech to thanking her. But I want to go back a little bit and talk about the unlikely chain of events that led to me serving here. When I was growing up, my family faced more than our fair share of struggles. During the recession, both my mom and dad were laid off multiple times, sometimes simultaneously, and the community I represent in the legislature lost a major employer, and my dad was one of the nearly 4,000 people who was laid off and became unemployed for a very long time. Like the community, they've bounced back, but it took a really long time, and the scars and bad memories still exist. It was around this time in our lives that I became more and more interested in politics and public service. For many years, I dreamed of becoming a pilot in our nation's military, but colorblindness and an underlying kidney condition kept this dream from becoming a reality. Nevertheless, I still went on to go to college and become the first person in our family to earn a college degree and later a master's degree. While attending Michigan State, I worked multiple jobs to pay the bills and earn gas money that I needed for my commute back and forth to East Lansing. One day, I was offered the opportunity to intern for then State Representative Brian Calley. I was really excited about this opportunity, but it did require me to quit my job at AutoZone in order to juggle my schedule with classes and the new internship. I also had to go out and buy new dress clothes because at the time I only had 1 pair of dress pants, 1 dress shirt, and no suits. I also had to live off of my very limited savings for the foreseeable future, but I somehow knew that this opportunity was all part of God's plan. From there, I went on to graduate from MSU early, served as Brian's campaign manager for State Senate, on his official staff, as a staff member and campaign manager for several state representatives and state senators. I completed my MBA. I was also elected to the Ionia County Board of Commissioners at age 21, besting Brian's previous record as the youngest member ever elected to that body. So I just want to say thank you to Brian Calley. Thank you for taking a chance on me and helping me, and setting me on the course that led me to where I am today, and many other wonderful opportunities along the way. Excuse me. Since being elected to the State House, I've gotten to work and build friendships with some really amazing people. So I'm going to go through and thank a few of them, but I'll undoubtedly leave off many, many more people that I could thank. So I'll start with Julie Calley, because we've been friends prior to our service here before. She and I served together on the Ionia County Board of Commissioners, and we remained friends after that. And through all these years, I've always appreciated your friendship, advice, and ability to listen to me vent my frustrations. I think she's doing work in the back right now. It shows what a hard worker she really is. Next is State Senator Rick Outman. Rick preceded me as the state representative for the 70th District, and we became friends when I was helping out on his 2010 campaign. But we really got to know each other when we became weightlifting partners. Rick's got quite an expansive gym in at his home, and it might surprise a lot of you to learn that I used to work out with Rick for 3 years straight just about every day. And over those years when he and I used to work out together, we just talked about everything, life, God, death, our families, and I can't think of somebody who's been more important over the last 10 years of my life than Rick Outman. So I'm so thankful for his friendship, and I'm really proud to call him a friend, and I'm really excited that his son Patrick is going to succeed me as the state representative for the 70th District. Steve Mitchell. I worked for Steve after leaving the legislative staff and before going on to municipal management. I learned a lot about polling and campaigning and life in general from Steve, and I've always appreciated his unwavering belief and encouragement in me. Representative Thomas Albert. Thomas and I became fast friends here in Lansing. I've always appreciated his hard work, candor, morals, and most importantly, his friendship. He's going to be a great appropriations chair next term. Representative Ben Frederick. Ben and I actually served on staff together here in the House, but we really got to know each other a lot better as members. Ben, I'll never forget November and December of 2018. Thank you for all your help and support. You're going to be an outstanding majority floor leader. Representative Michelle Hoydinga, my seatmate for 4 years. This is pretty funny. 2 years ago, she sat on my right, and now she sits on my left, and even though I know she'll dispute this, it's because I'm actually more conservative than she is now. Thank you, Michelle, for your friendship and always keeping session extremely interesting for all of us in the back row. Former Speaker Tom Leonard, thank you, Tom, for believing in me and trusting me to chair a committee and serve on your leadership team my freshman term. I've always appreciated the opportunities that you gave me. Staff. I've been fortunate to have the same legislative director for 4 years. You know, when I was thinking about giving this speech, I imagined there being people in the gallery to thank. I know she's watching at home, Danielle. Danielle Sirianni, thank you so much for working with me over the last 4 years. Thank you for listening to my rants, helping me serve our constituents, getting really important bills signed into law, encouraging rather than discouraging all of my crazy ideas. Thank you, Danielle. I've really enjoyed working with a variety of front deskers that have all moved on to different career opportunities. Joe Cecil, Laurel Toppy, Alex Hausman, Jacob Privelt. I consider it a point of pride that you've all been promoted out of my office, and in the case of Jacob, are going to be staying on with soon-to-be Representative Pat Outman. I also want to thank the local government committee policy staff that I've worked with over the years, Allison Mattice-Eskew, Greg George, Amanda Gill, Chris Jones, and Derek Robinson. I also want to thank a couple other policy staffers that I've worked on with other committees, Phil Goodrich, Aaron Van Lingvelde, and Hassan Beydoun. I'd also be remiss if I didn't say thank you to Clerk Gary Randall. I've always appreciated bouncing ideas off of you and benefiting from your decades of wisdom. It's been an honor to serve in the seat that you once held in this chamber. The following is a long list of former members and members that I want to thank: Steve Marino, Roger Hauk, Mike Mueller, Gary Eisen, Joe Bellino, Steve Johnson, Shane Hernandez, Madam Speaker Pam Hornberger, Tommy Brand, Bronna Colley, Beth Griffin, Kathy Crawford, Jim Ellison, David LeGrand, Tim Sneller, Ronnie Peterson, Rob Verheulen, Jim Stamas, Mike Shirkey, Peter McGregor, Pete Lucido, Tom Barrett, and of course, my former boss and State Senator Judy Emmons. I also want to thank pretty much the entire House and Senate Republican caucuses. You've all had my back on many difficult issues over the last 4 years. I have this tendency to take on bills that nobody else wants to do and that are really tough issues. I've always appreciated the respect and deference you gave to me and for having my back on these very tough projects. Additionally, I want to thank the people of the 70th District. Thank you for selecting me to serve as your state representative and allowing me to serve our community. I've always tried to advance bills that would benefit our area and the state as a whole. So that's a lot of thank yous, Madam Speaker. But that's mostly what I wanted to do today. There are many memories from my time here as state representative that I'll cherish for the next 50, 60, or 70 years. I don't really know, obviously, how much time I have left on this planet, but I have just a few days left here as a member. I want to thank everyone. I want everyone to know what an honor it has been and how thankful I am to have the love and support of everyone here in this team. I realized as I was going through this, I somehow skipped Speaker-elect Jason Wentworth on my thank yous. How could I forget that? Jason and I became friends and colleagues, or friends during our campaign in 2016. We certainly have a lot in common in terms of values and upbringing, and I've enjoyed serving with him over the next 4 years. I'm sure he's preparing things for his transition right now and isn't on the floor, but I appreciate his friendship, and I look forward to the next 2 years together. Oh, there's Jason right there. Okay. It's hard to see from over here. So I'll close with a final thank you. I want to thank my mom and dad. When I was a kid, my mom and dad used to always tell me that I could do anything that I set my mind to. And I took this encouragement quite literally. It always filled me with a supreme confidence and it definitely has always made me a calculated risk taker. As people that know me in here, I take a lot of risks, but they are calculated. Without this confidence and ability to take risks, I never would have taken that crucial internship that I mentioned earlier on. And I never would have became a county commissioner, graduated school in under 3 years, became a state representative, or rearranged my life in a not-to-be bid for Congress. I believe things always work out how they were supposed to, but how are they supposed to? Because my mom and dad have both faced these challenges with good humor, faith, and hope for the future. In these challenging times we live in, I can't think of a more important example to set for a child, a family, or a community, and I can't thank you both enough for helping me become who I am here today. So thank you very much, Madam Speaker.